Ananias was born between 296 to 298 AD and died on May 2nd, 373. Ananias faced many challenges, but his greatest one was returning to Alexandria in the year 366. He spent his last years repairing his damage done during the years of exile. He continued to write and preach about a newly established perspective on the incarnation established by the Council of Nicaea. Ananias left his great impact on the church. He was the greatest pioneer of the Catholic belief on the topic of incarnation and was given the name Father of Orthodoxy. St. Paul the Apostle's birthday has not yet been confirmed, but he was believed to have been born in the year 6 AD and believed to have died in the year 64 AD. St. Paul is considered to be the most influential of all saints. He was known for his persecution of the early disciples of Jesus in the area of Jerusalem prior to his conversion. Following his conversion, however, he wrote many letters to the people of the early Christian church urging them to have faith in God during the persecution. His most important challenge was, according to the Acts of 9:1-22, Paul was blinded for 3 days and was led out to the city of Damascus by some of his comrades. After witnessing the Lord Christ for the first time, in the 3 days that Saul ate no food or drank any water, and spent his entire time in prayer to God for the return of his vision. After the return of his vision, Saul devoted his life to the conversion of Gentiles or atheists. St. Jerome was born on March 27, 347 AD and died on September 30th, 420 AD. He made a lasting impact on the church, as we know him best for being the first to translate the majority of the Bible and write it down. He is the second most voluminous writer in terms of the Bible translation and is now recognized as a saint and doctor of the Catholic Church and a patron saint of translators, libertarians, and encyclopedists.
In the year 300, a leading soldier named Andrew was a Christian who secretly went to war against Persian fleet. When questioned, Andrew replied by saying that his best men would convert to Christianity by showing them the hands and works of the Lord. He led his men to prayer and convinced his small force to fight the entire Persian army, resulting in victory. As a result, about 1,000 people believed Andrew and followed God and his miracles. In the year 306, Constantine is held captive and eventually flees with his horse. His method of escape changed history. Therefore, given the name of Constantine, he created his own empire and became the first ruler of the Western world to incorporate laws upon the teachings of Jesus. He made his best effort of showing a non-Christian society the works of the Lord, eventually leading and establishing his own people, who were taught the miracles of Christ. In the year 320, 40 soldiers refused to complete the sacrifice of killing people. They confronted the governor of Armenia and demanded he see the reason the Lord does not want us to kill others. They claimed that to disgrace the name of our Lord Jesus Christ is more terrible than sacrificing others. The Armenian governor grew angry and had the men tortured, but they still never gave in. Then prayed, and eventually all died on ice of Christ in his worship.
In the first century, because many of the early Christians were Jews, they brought along many of their customs, one of which being circumcision. They argued that if one was not circumcised, they could not be Christian. However, God made it clear to Peter that although uncircumcised, those baptized can still be Christians, thus making the windows of Christianity broader. In the 4th century, Arius was able to bring about confusion to the church with his teaching that Jesus was a creature created by God. He used orthodox and near-orthodox terminology to disguise his heresy and even gain support from bishops. This was ultimately resolved with the Nicene Creed, created by two councils, the Council of Constantinople and the Council of Nicaea.
The First Council of Nicaea took place in 325 AD. It was brought to order by the Emperor Constantine I. This meeting took place in ancient Nicaea. In this meeting, the council declared Arianism as a true belief. This belief was that the Son of God did not always exist, but was created by God the Father. They also settled the Nicene Creed and Canon Law. The Nicene Creed is a declaration of the faith of the Church, and the Canon Law is 20 laws and rules to be followed. Lastly, the council settled a date for Easter. They chose a date that did not conflict with the Jewish Passover. The Pope at the time, Pope Sylvester, was absent from this meeting and had sent representatives.